Good evening to all the members of District 20 and a wonderful audience present here. This is Toastmaster Faiza, your host for this evening. And let's repeat the district mission. We build new clubs and support all the clubs in achieving excellence.
We build new clubs and support all clubs achieving excellence.
It's my privilege to welcome one and all to this one-of-kind informative webinar. Before that, let's acknowledge the presence of our dignitaries present today this evening. Our PQD, Program Quality Director, DTM Khalid Abdullah, CGD, Club Growth Director, DTM Khalid Jalal, PRM, DTM Alan Paul. Our timer for today, Area 19 Director, Toastmaster Dinesh Paul, district officials, and amazing past future leaders present here. Good evening, one and all. We in District 20 have always joined hands together towards some special mission. And one of our most special mission is to raise awareness, empower its members, enhance their growth in every possible ways. Keeping this vision in mind, this year we have been doing a lot of events. Advance Your Career is one of a series continued with the same perspective in mind, especially for people who want to advance their career. Advance Your Career first series was for the HR professionals. We had workshop for IT professionals, and now along with that HR professional, we had workshop. This is the special workshop today for safety professional, and we invite various experts and specialists from different fields to share their experience. For the members and communities to benefit from their expertise knowledge. We got an immense positive response from our previous events. Thus, we have organized yet another event with a similar objective: to experience a life-changing opportunity with professionals in health, safety, and environment industry to help you enhance your professional career. So, interestingly, today we have not one, two, but three keynote speakers. Do you sometimes feel that opportunities keep knocking at your door, but you feel you're not ready? And I'm sure this happens with all of us. So are you ready to learn the skills and tap into the opportunities and grow? Let's connect to make the impact. We have with us Saira, the founder and sustainer of Create It, a skill development platform that unearths and guides the creativity in individuals with unique techniques to succeed in their own path. She's a director of Bahrain Writers Circle since 2020, a career expert, columnist, published in various anthologies and featured in 101 artistic Toastmasters of the world. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Saira.
Thank you very much, MC, for that lovely introduction. Hello, everybody. Good evening. And it is a pleasure to be here to present in front of you something that I'm quite passionate about. Let me talk to you today about opportunities and being able to highlight opportunities in our life. Now, during my 20s, I have had tremendous number of opportunities come my way, but something or the other has gotten in the way and I have not been able to use those opportunities. It is much later in life that I realized that things are happening. You hear the quote such as opportunity knocks just once, you don't get a second opportunity. But when it comes to real life, what really does happen is it's the story of your life. So what I've learned from my life is pretty late, I have understood how to tap into these opportunities, recognize them, and use them to your benefit. And then there's no turning back. Hence, I'd like to share those nuggets with you today. So let's not waste any time. Opportunities are awesome. They fly by into your life every now and then, and some people attract them. Some people are opportunity generators, and the rest of us are crippled by fear. That's what happened to me when I was in my 20s. So I was very crippled by fear because you're questioning yourself. Is this the right thing? Would people laugh at your ideas? Is this okay? You know, those kind of things. But later in life, you realize, why not give it a go and see? And that is what I want to talk to you about today. Now, the very first thing is, what is the difference between an idea and opportunities? Today, I'll cover a few topics: ideas and opportunities, identifying your opportunities, 5 ways to recognize if this is the opportunity. I mean, do we let all opportunities, hold on to all opportunities, or let them, which ones to pick and choose? And of course, embracing the personal characteristics of a keen opportunity seeker. When you say it's an opportunistic person, it tends to have negative connotations. So I'd say the keen observer who picks on these particular opportunities, that's what we want to pick on today. Now, what is an idea? An idea is a thought, a suggestion, a plan that triggers our mind. Usually it is through the thinking faculty of the mind that we come across an idea. And ideas are a dime a dozen. We have plenty of ideas. Some people can sit in a corporate meeting and give you, oh, why don't we do this? I think in marketing we should do this, etc., etc., etc. But the people behind the scenes who are actually running that department are aware of the nitty-gritties and what really is the ground reality. So idea is one thing, but an opportunity is something totally different. People tend to confuse the two. Opportunity is a favorable set of circumstances that create a need for a new product, a service, or a business. Now, I run my own company. We are Created is a skill development center. So what we do is basically entrepreneurship. I'm going to speak to you today as an entrepreneur, but what I'm speaking can be applied from a business standpoint in your corporate, whether you are a salesperson, a leader, a marketing head, anybody can apply these tactics, okay? So let me tell you, an opportunity has 4 essential qualities. They are attractive, they are durable, that means it has to last over time, it has to be timely, and obviously it is rooted in a product or service. For example, in the case of the internet search engines, let's look at it. Yahoo, this first search engine, appeared in the year 1995. And the market grew quickly with the addition of quite a few, Alta Vista, Excite, and quite a few others, which I've never even used. I've used Yahoo and of course, Google. Now, Google entered the market much later. They entered the market in 1998, sporting advanced search technology. What happened was search engine market matured over time and the window of opportunity became less prominent. Now, Yahoo and Google made its mark, but today it is very difficult for a new startup engine, search engine, to be firm and to go ahead with this compelling advantage over the others because they've already established themselves. So that is why when we say it's timely and it's durable. So anchored product, that is what is very important. You cannot just, let it be. Right now, if you notice, NFTs are very timely. Crypto, all of these things are opportunities that need to be grabbed with both hands and then work on it. Now, how exactly do we identify an opportunity? It is very important for us to understand how to identify an opportunity. I wish this was, a place where I could take questions and, throw you questions and speak about it. But we have just 15 minutes, so I don't want to go into that. Now, 3 ways to identify an opportunity is trends. We need to observe trends, be very careful about what is happening in the market. Also, it needs to have a problem that needs to be solved. Solving a problem will most definitely be one of the main factors of having an opportunity. And then finding gaps in the market. At all stages of our lives, especially mine, I have found when I'm specializing in certain areas, there are things that I think, oh my gosh, I wish this product existed. Why can't I do something about it? So those are the things that we, that come to us, and those are the things that you need to hold on to and develop it further. Like in 1994, Jeff Bezos quit his lucrative job at New York City investment firm, and he headed for Seattle with a plan to actually launch his e-commerce business. He was an entrepreneur who had that idea, who decided to seize that opportunity. And how did he start? He just wanted to make books available online. So PDFs. That's what he did. So from there, he went on to, is there any questions? I can hear some sound in the background. So as I was saying, so 3 ways to identify an opportunity is to observe. Somebody muted me, but I'm back. So 3 ways to identify an opportunity is to observe trends, solve a problem, and find gaps in the marketing space. So those are the 3 ways to identify an opportunity. Now, is it important that we only identify an opportunity? How do we take it to the next level? See, what happens is, and every opportunity, just 1 second, I can see the timer here. Wow. How many, what is the green at? Could you, timer, could Mr. Dinesh Kumar, could you just tell me the timing? Okay, I do not hear anything from him. So I'm, yes.
Yeah, I was juggling to unmute myself.
Sorry.
Your timing, you will see the 10-minute green, 12-minute yellow, and 14-minute red signal.
Okay,
thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. All right. So 5 ways to recognize if this is the opportunity for you. Let me tell you, sometimes every opportunity starts with a small idea. Now, sometime in the year, last year, I had decided, the whole world was online, and I had decided that let's see if I click a picture and we get a lot of artists to actually paint this picture in different forms. What will happen? So I launched a campaign. This was just an idea between me and a friend. We spoke about it and we launched a campaign on Instagram whereby one picture was taken by a prominent photographer I'm based in Bahrain, here in Bahrain. And then we invited artists to take the same picture and replicate it in different forms of art. So it could be oil works, it could be watercolor prints, it could be sketches, etc. So what we did was we brought that challenge online and we put it up. It was quite accepted quite well, and quite a few people, participated in it. It was just an idea. And then we decided to take it to the next level. I saw that there was an opportunity to make this happen. So how do we make an opportunity happen? You see, every opportunity is not something that you take and start working on, because in the end, you will not be able to keep up and you will have a poor service delivery. So it's important for you to pick those particular ideas that are very meaningful, that matter to you. So it has to, one, spark something within you. It has to fit with your core values. It has to provide you with energy and momentum. Only then is this particular opportunity going to hit full scale. And then you will see that people discuss it legitimately. So these are the ways that you recognize an opportunity is coming into full bloom. Because otherwise you'll have tons of ideas that may look like opportunities, but it's not really happening. So once the online campaign was launched and we went ahead and closed it on December 16th, saying tremendous response. Now we've got over 50 paintings online. What can we do next? I had a meeting with somebody here, and the gentleman out here spoke, how about bringing it to life? Bringing all these paintings to life. So the next thing, when we spoke about it, they were in agreement, we were in agreement, and before you knew, I had sponsors approaching us. And because the campaign fit well with the core values of the country, we went ahead and made it live. So then what happened was, in January of this year, Accredited had its first exhibition where all the photographers as well as the artists met, and we were able to display that, and it became from an online thing to an offline thing. It became a full-fledged exercise and an exhibition. That is how one of the things I felt earlier, it would have been, will it be okay? Am I going too ahead of time? Those are the kinds of questions that come into our mind. So over the years, I feel an organization like Toastmasters, who help us in facing our fears, getting bolder, able to generate so much wisdom through whatever we get. And they are able to hone our skills to take it to the next level. So we can identify the opportunities via the trends, solve problems, and find gaps in the marketplace. So what I also would like to say is that prior experience is a great skill that you will have. Prior experience in industry helps us as people to recognize business opportunities, and it is important in all industries across. Also, what happens is entrepreneurial alertness is formally defined as the ability to notice things without actually searching. So you're not really searching for it, but it happens to come your way and you're able to spot it. That is how deals after deals after deals take place and the big bucks come in. And don't you think social networks are important? The extent and depth of an individual social network is immense in today's world. It affects your opportunity recognition. The smaller your network, the lesser the discussions around these opportunities and ideas are available. So to join an organization as big, as wide, as powerful as Toastmasters helps you increase your network, helps you expand these opportunities. And people who build these networks on a social level are exposed to more ideas and more opportunities. The difference between solo entrepreneurs and network entrepreneurs, network entrepreneurs is that network entrepreneurs identify significantly more than the others. So what happens is there is a strong tie relationship and weak tie relationship. The difference is on the frequent relationship, such as, when you have a good camaraderie of network, when you know each other, when you're able to discuss, there's a trust factor involved, durability involved. So then these opportunities are able to transform into life-changing events for yourself. I hope you did understand what I'm trying to get at when it comes to opportunities. The right opportunity is not something that we have to wait for. We just go ahead and create it. In different times, we have different challenges, but our fear should not be able to get in the way of these. Like Amelia Earhart, when she was trying to be an aviator, there were no women in that field at all. There was nobody who was flying. Creating breakthroughs in these fields was not possible. And one day when she got a call that you will have 2 male chaperones with you, and all you could die in the process, but do you want to take this on? And she said yes. And today, we don't know the chaperones behind that, but we definitely know Amelia Earhart. She made history by accepting that opportunity that came to her. I would encourage everybody here to be able to get into something and take that step forward, whether it is flying solo or going into entrepreneurship or just accepting an idea that may have potential and will be able to take you to the next level. That is how my life's message has been, and hence I would highly recommend that we should all go ahead and tap into that energy, tap into that if it falls in level with your core values. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saira. And you really tapped on time. That was really great. Wonderful session from you. Lots to learn. And I'm sure audience would also agree with me. Wonderful session. Now, I would request the members from the audience to put your questions in the chat box. We'll be taking your questions during the Q&A session. Let's move forward now. After this wonderful session from Toastmaster Saira, we have yet another keynote speaker. Before we introduce our keynote speaker, let me tell you something about communication, which you will all agree. Simon Sinek once said, communication is not about speaking what we think, but communication is about ensuring others hear what we mean. So gear up to learn the special art from yet another leader present with us this evening, Toastmaster Miethig, an entrepreneur, managing director, and founder of Waste. He will be sharing his experience and expertise of being a communicative leader. Before me speaking a lot about him, the song is ended, but the melodies linger on. Yes, exactly the melody by which he will be presenting his presentation. It's none other than Toastmaster Miethig. Please put your hands together to welcome our second keynote speaker for this evening. Over to you.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I hope everybody can hear me.
Yes, very well.
Yes, we can all hear you.
Okay, sehr gut. Das freut mich. So please, can we start with the presentation? So first of all, I would like to welcome everyone to this session, Advance Your Career, by the District 20 Toastmasters. And it's an honor for me to be here and speaking and giving some of my experience. Very important for your people, for the communication is, can you just go one slide back? The art of communication as a language for the leadership. And most of the people, they don't speak German, I guess. So here we have it as a picture, which is actually more international. So later on, I will come back to the point that you need to know what kind of language, for example, your audience is speaking and specifically understanding. Because it doesn't make sense if you talk in a language with wording, with different kind of specific terms, which your audience will not understand. So here, again, the first picture is art. The second picture is communication. The third picture, the different kind of languages. And the fourth one about leadership. Next slide, please. So this is the art of communication, is a language of the leadership. Only if your audience is understanding your communication, your language, then they will understand the message and might follow you. Next slide, please. So how to communicate? There are different kind of possibilities how to communicate anything towards your audience or towards the receivers. Either verbal, which might be a sound or the voice, like wordings or songs, phones, sounds, music. These are all kind of messages. Remember that a lot of people like to chill, so they have some reggae music, chill out music, which is as well a message from the producer to the audience to chill out. Then we have got the visual one, which is either pictures or clips. And there is a saying, a picture says more than 1,000 words. And as well, a picture usually is international. So there is no specific language. So this is also very important. And then another communication is action, like the activity, like the experience. So once you have your own experience, which I will show you later in the last clip as a message, this is actually the best way how to communicate. So let the people, let the audience participate, let them experience the message you want to give to them. And then obviously we have a mix of all. When you have in general, like now, presentations, you will show some words, you will talk, and most likely we have an activity also with the Toastmasters, what Mr. Khalid, DTM Khalid was mentioning, that there should be soon as well a cleanup. So this is then actually one action or an activity where the audience can experience what kind of message the Toastmasters District 20 want to give to the audience. Okay, next slide, please. So what is the most effective way to communicate? Visual and verbal and sounds and voices are quite nice, but literally the people have very specifically to focus with one of the sins only while listening. So this is a basic possibility of communication, but not the most effective one. Then we have got, as I mentioned earlier, the visual one with pictures and clips. And we all know how popular now the small clips are on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. So the message is more and more clear and more receivable by the audience. Nevertheless, we need to ensure that the content language which we are using in writing or verbally in the clips is as well readable for the audience. It doesn't make sense. I make a nice video clip and then have, for example, Chinese writing or Chinese wording, voices, which nobody will understand. Even though by action or by picture, you might understand throughout the type of body language what the people are using. And then, as I said, more effective or most effective, most likely is the activity. So once you let the audience experience what you want to achieve them or what you want them to understand. And again, a mix of all obviously is always good balance for each and every one. So because we have different kind of levels of audience. Next slide, please. So what is important? I mentioned earlier that it's important about the language. So, and a lot of salespeople, they talk about KYC, know your customer. In our case, we don't have customer. We have what? Next slide, please. Click, please. We have KYA. What is KYA? Next click, please. Know your audience, which means know what language they understand. Not mandatory what language they speak, what language they understand, because you are delivering a message. The second is what kind of age groups this audience is. Because if you are talking, we did a presentation, for example, in the kindergarten, we have to use different kind of wording, different kind of body language, different kind of pictures in order to convey our message, and different kind of activities rather than with adults. Same if you talk in front of engineers or in front of writers or in front of scientists or in front of, let's say, the general public. It's very, very important that you know your audience in order to prepare your presentation so the audience will understand what message you want to deliver. It's not that you know what you want to deliver, but the audience is a receiver, and the receiver is very important that you are on their level of wording, of understanding, of activity, of voices, of sound, of pictures. Next slide, please. So what actually as a speaker is the most important? The most important is not how to talk like you know what you are talking about. Next slide, please. It's actually KWYATA. You should know what you are talking about, not talk like you know. You should know. Next slide, please. So the thing is, know exactly what you are talking about, because if you have a smart audience, they will do some questions. And if they have some tricky questions and you cannot answer, you will lose credibility. So always, prior any kind of talk, activity, message you want to deliver, it's very important to do your proper research, to have as well facts and references at hand. So nobody can question that you are not really knowing what you are talking about. There is a lot of people outside who pretend to know something and they talk just to talk, but they don't deliver knowledge or a proper message, because they maybe like to hear themselves talking, but not to inspire the audience to become a leader. They just want to, let's say, show off. So that's why it's very important that you exactly know what you are talking about, with all the basic information, the details and facts and figures and references. Next slide, please. So since we are as well into health, safety, and environment, we had a certain discussion like approximately 2 weeks back with the Bahrain Health and Safety Society. And there was a discussion, is it HSE, health, safety, and environment, safety, environment, health, or environment, safety, health, or what comes first? Next slide. In general, all is together. There is no health, no safety, no environment separated from each other. It's all connected. And since I want to deliver a message to the audience, what is happening right now in the world, that we have a lot of pollution and a lot of people are not really aware, I want to give you some information about what is danger for your health. And actually, everybody is using most likely plastic water bottles anywhere. If you go in the hotel, in the meeting room, and it's actually very, very dangerous because there is a testing done. And as I said, there's a reference here. It was done by SodaStream in April 2018, that a lot of plastic bottles, they are leaching BPA into the water. And the test on 250 bottled waters in different kind of countries from different kind of brands were showing that actually plastic from the bottle is leaching into the plastic bottle. What specifically here in the region is a problem that actually water should be stored cold and dark. And what we find here, that the water is actually usually stored somehow outside in the heat and with sunlight, which is even more dangerous. So you know to be always very careful. And actually I'm avoiding any kind of plastic water bottle because I'm aware of this issue. And now actually you are as well aware. Next slide, please. So the World Health Organization, based on this information, they did as well a testing. And you can have on the reference, which was done in September 2018, with the link which is shown here. So the plastic fibers who were found in 93% of popular bottled water. So this was not only as an investigation by a company, it was as well confirmed by the World Health Organization. So again, different kind of bottles, different kind of brands in different kind of locations were tested, and there was microplastic found in these kind of bottles. And it might be shocking for you that every human being roughly eats 5 grams of plastic every week. And 5 grams of plastic is what everybody has, either an ATM card or a credit card. This is the average what every human being is consuming on a weekly basis, 5 grams of microplastic. So this should be a little bit concern from our side in order to avoid these kind of stuff. And as well in the study last 2 years back or 3 years back, 2 years back in 2020, they found already microplastic in the unborn baby in the placenta. So it already reaches, the microplastic already reaches the people prior they are born. So that's why it's actually very dangerous for your health. Next slide, please. So plastic is, next slide, just click through it, please, is very useful. You know, we see it in different kind of activities in our life, either as packing, like plastic bottles. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Packing as a food packing as well. Then, you know, the boxes, the packing for frozen stuff, and. So, and at the end, most of it is actually used once. Next slide. So plastic is actually everywhere in our life. There is no one who can escape from plastic, unfortunately, but we can avoid as much as possible. Next slide, please. So here are some basic facts about plastic. In total, in the past, 8.3 billion metric tons were produced. And you will not believe, but within the last 10 years, as much plastic was produced like the last 100 years. And it's increasing dramatically. And as per the statistic, 8 million of these plastic, 8 million tons, metric tons, are washed into the water, into the ocean every year. And unfortunately, as well, here in Bahrain, this was 2 or 3 years back in the central market, a guy was buying some fish, and when he was preparing the fish, it was even in the newspaper, there were plastic pieces inside the fish. So again, I want to highlighting that the average person is eating 5 grams of microplastic every week. And the biggest problem actually is that 40% of this plastic is actually packing material, which is again used only once. So we need really to try to avoid the plastic as packing. I, for example, go once a month to the Manama Central Market with 2 reusable bags, and I buy there all my vegetables, all my fruits, bananas, apples, pineapple, potatoes, onions, whatever you name it. And you know what? It's even very cheap. It's unpacked, cheap, and the best what I can do is I don't have any kind of waste afterwards. The remains I put in the compost, so I don't have any kind of packing waste, and I'm saving money. Next slide, please. So here we have some information about how long until it's gone. But you see, the gone is deleted because actually plastic never is gone. It never decomposes. It just actually breaks down to microplastic till you cannot see it, but you will ingest it. So here, for example, a plastic bottle to fully break down to microplastic takes 450 years. How long are you using it? Maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes to drink half liter of water, and then it remains 450 years on the planet. Then everybody knows these plastic beverage holders, they take approximately 50 years to decompose or to break down. So we need to go to the next slide, please. There are some worldwide facts, please quickly. 4.6 billion tons of general waste, 1.3 billion tons of food waste, 1.1 billion tons of sorry, I got a call. 1.1 million tons of construction waste and 50 million tons of e-waste. So then the next one, next slide, please. The Bahrain, usually I let the audience answer. So it's 1.6 million tons of general waste, 235,000 tons of food waste, which is tremendous, which is one of the worst in the world compared to the capita of Bahrain. Then 490 tons of construction waste and 20,000 tons of e-waste, which has a big, big value. Next slide, please. What are the requirements? The requirements, next slide, please, are obviously capacity, knowledge, what we are right now doing with delivering a message through the District 20 Toastmaster. Next slide, please. Then we need to have got rules and regulation and incentives. And next slide, please. And as well, the facilities, the right facilities, which unfortunately we don't have right now here in Bahrain. Next slide, please. Now, this is the biggest message I want to deliver. It's a short video clip. Please listen and watching carefully.
I'm in this flat, which is very nice. I must admit, just coming here, I was a little bit apprehensive. Ooh, lovely blanket. I have no idea what's going to happen. So I have woken up and there is a lot less food. When you've had your food like limited, all you can do is think about food. This is a bit more like a prison cell. We've literally moved from like food being rationed to very simple living. It's only when you have these things taken away you actually realise what it feels like. I am apprehensive about what's going to happen tomorrow because I just feel like, what are you going to take now? That is disgusting. So this is my bathroom. It stinks as well. Look at it. We don't need to be using this much plastic. I wish you could go through this. It would wind you up so much. You would never, ever not recycle plastic. 9 bags of plastic. Wow, the sun and the heater. What a cook. I think I'm ready to go home now. When everything gets stripped away from you, it's like you have no, you have no rights. I don't want to sleep in the lounge. So this is my new home. I haven't really got any food. And to be honest, I just want it to be over. So I've just got back to my bedroom and found this. We cannot live like this. My first thing is literally get me out that door. That's all I'm thinking about is get me out of this place. It smells dirty. It's literally getting hotter by the minute. Let me out, let me out! It's not until today that I actually realised the severity of this situation. Every single day, obviously, I've been able to adapt and move rooms and clean it up. But today, I'm stuck here, the door's locked, I have no water, I have no food. There's literally nothing I can do.
So as a communicator, this is the experience this person had, and for sure the message he received is very, very clear. So for me, as a final message, treat all Mother Earth like you want your mother to be treated. Because actually, you see, this guy wanted to escape after 6 days. We cannot escape from Mother Earth, so we need to treat her nicely. And that's why, as TM Khalid said earlier, that we might have a clean up in order to experience and do some activity to deliver the message to yourself and to the audience and to all participants. Thank you very much and enjoy the following Toastmaster Shukri, Mohammed Shukri, who is an excellent speaker. Thank you so much. And sorry for taking a lot of your time.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kai. It was indeed informative and eye-opener video. We all enjoyed your session. Audience, if you like to put your questions, kindly put in the chat box, and we will be taking the questions for Toastmaster Kai in the Q&A session. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kai. Next, let's know about success. We all love to achieve success in our life. So the key to success is something we love to achieve. Today we have a dynamic leader with us who will be sharing the secrets to the key to success. An international award-winning speaker, co-active coach, a corporate culture expert, consultant, helping companies and individuals build better communication, positive culture, and innovative performance. He is the first Arab to reach the World Championship of Public Speaking Finals in 2006 in Washington, D.C. In August 2020, he was awarded the prestigious Accredited Speaker Award by Toastmasters International, making him the 88th globally and the first in the ME. Certified Transformational Leader by Chartered Management Institute, UK. He is MBA in Transformational Leadership from St. George John York Uni UK, founder and CEO of Y-Axis Training Solution Company. He's none other than DTM Mohammed Al Shukri. Over to you, and it's our honor to have you in today's event. DTM Mohammed Al Shukri. Over to you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Wait, that's not my Zoom having trouble, by the way. And it is not me scaring off to speak in front of you. This is the sound of a door squeaking as it opens. It is the door of opportunity. The door of opportunity, which usually does not look like opportunity. In fact, it looks like exactly the opposite. If you are in the world of safety, or you are about to go there, or you are living in an environment or organization where safety is there, it is not something so attractive or entertaining or appealing to be a member of. And yet, today, I will tell all of you, whether you are in safety or you are against being in safety, how this door opens. So the door opened for me because I was fed up of working a worker for 10 years in shift in the power generation department of Aluminium Bahrain, 1993 to 2003. Enough of this. I want to become a supervisor. Yeah, I want to be a management level. And the door opened because Aluminium Bahrain Alba company, the first aluminum smelter in the Gulf region, has decided to open a new line of product. And that was in 2003. And for that, they need a lot of work. There's a lot of work to be done, and they need a lot of positions, expertise, and promotions are coming internally and externally. We saw the vacancies on the notice boards in our power generation department, and I said, this is it. And I applied, and I lost one of the most important vacancies I wanted badly. I tried again. Here you go. There is another position, safety coordinator in the SHE department. Sorry, Kai, it is safety, health, and environment, because ladies first. SHE department. So I applied, but made sure it is a supervisory level. Yes, it's a supervisory level. So I will be a management staff. Applied for the job and I got it. Then the door opened into the SHE department and I was ready to take my responsibilities. Yeah, I will go out there and do everything that the safety coordinators used to do to me when I was in power generation. I will look at the violations. I will make sure everybody behaves safely, and I will do accident investigations. And I will, when I come out of my car doing patrol, everybody will look at me and be scared of me because the safety guy is here. But no, somebody said, please put your helmet down. You are not going anywhere. You have to do the safety induction. What? Safety what? Safety induction. We have in Toastmasters new member induction. What is safety induction? Anyway, I wasn't a Toastmaster then. I have to deliver a safety induction, safety presentation for a lot of contractors who are flooding into the company. Remember, it's expansion project and daily basis. These people are coming. They have to be given the safety lecture. They have to sign that they understood everything that I said. Otherwise, they will not get the work done. So get inside. They gave me the PowerPoint and they threw me in the room. Who did that? The old safety guys, because they wanted to go out and I have to learn safety by safety induction. And this is the new safety boy. Anyway, what to do? I opened the door and I started doing safety induction the way I saw my older peers do. So today, as promised, I will not give you secrets. I will give you 6 stops from my journey on how did I reach where I reached. So stop number 1, my question to you, are you saying yes to speaking? I am sad to say that many safety professionals do not do that. They do not say yes to speaking. In fact, the people around me ran away from speaking. If we are in meetings, they will take a long time before they decide to just say an idea. If we want to do presentations, nobody will come forward. Yes, I will do a presentation just to run the show, but otherwise I will be out there doing my safety thing. I'll tell you this, in every profession, especially in safety, if you do not say yes to speaking and immediately, without conditions, you like it or you don't like it, it will impact your career, definitely. And there are so many evidences in our world. There are people who do not lose their jobs, according to some studies, versus those who lost their jobs in times of recession. And the only difference was they are the presenters in the company. They are the face of the company. I'm not talking about safety only. But because they present all the time, company thinks 1,000 times before they lay them off, just because they said yes to speaking. So my first stop with you is, are you saying yes to speaking? I hope the answer is yes. Very good. I'm already seeing that. Let me go further. So I went into this room, not a big hall, not a hall which is really designed for 70 people, but it's a meeting room for barely 25 or 30. But the chairs were changed, the seating setup was changed because we are having 60 to 70 contractor members daily in one room where ventilation is the least facility that is available. And now I would please, in this very traumatic and turbulent world, I want to choose my words very carefully. In that room, anything, it was anything but hygiene. I mean, remember, 70 people, they are pushed by their superiors, by their contractor companies, and they are coming from different sites, not necessarily this is the first thing they do in the day. So they come tired, maybe they have already some sweating from the other sites, okay, in one room. And you know, one room, what was happening to me? It was suffocating. I have to be honest with you, this is the truth. In one room, I couldn't actually breathe. I will tell you, these people are honorable people because they work with their hands. And you know, when they work with their hands, you cannot guarantee that they are coming from home or from their luxuries and their best perfumes. They are so simple people fighting for their sustenance. But didn't change the fact that it was suffocating. And yet I had to do it. No excuses. We are running late. We don't want the contracts to run late. Stop number 2. No, I think I hear some, can you mute anyone else? Stop number 2. Okay, I unmuted myself. Who said it will be rosy? It will be stinky. If you want to hone your skills, it's not one-off presentation. Maybe your manager asked you to do one presentation and you got away with it. Maybe they sent you for a conference and you took a month to prepare and then that's it, you proved well. But if you really want to be a good speaker in your profession, which we said stop number 1 is important, then it is going to be stinky. It's a day in, day out job, work on your speaking. And you have to be patient and you're not going to become a good speaker, no way, in one day. It is going to be stinky. Skills and mastery takes time and patience. So it was very stinky to me. I had to do something about it, all right? So I had to figure a way that it has to be fun. I have to pass the time, 1.5 hours to do the same presentation, all right? So the good news was I recently also joined the Alba 5-star Toastmasters Club, which was founded by the safety department, by the way. It's a corporate club, the first corporate club in Bahrain. So I joined the Toastmasters and suddenly I changed the mood in the room with all these contractors. And suddenly my colleagues in their offices and my manager started hearing this. And they started hearing this, ha, 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 ha. Everybody's laughing and having fun. And they come out of their offices and they're saying, what's happening? This is Mohammed Shukri, he's running the safety induction. Okay, but we don't remember safety inductions to be so funny and so cheerful. And they asked me in the meeting room, I said, yeah, I joined the Toastmaster and now I want to make things really more motivating. Okay, and I want the attendees to have fun. These people are tired. These people are working, you know, maybe 12 to 20 hours a day. I don't know. We have to give them some motivation, some incentive. Let them enjoy safety. Why should they suffer safety? Let them enjoy. Stop number 3, especially for safety speakers. You know, you and I, in our companies, we always say this. We want people to behave safely because they want to, not because they have to. Excuse me, then why are you delivering boring presentations? Then why are you shouting at people to follow safety? They will not follow safety because you tell them to. Because I was a member in Toastmasters, I learned how to motivate the people in the room, even if they are not from my language, not from my background, regardless of their education, regardless of who they We are all human beings and we all go through tough times. And in Toastmasters, we enjoy every minute when we learn the nasty or stinky way. Yeah, it's going to be stinky, but we can make it motivating. So stop number 3, speak in a way that makes people love to follow safety, want to be safety behaving individuals, not have to. There are many people who hate safety presentations and safety courses. Guess what? I call them not safety presentation, I call them safety presentation. It's a present. Yeah. When am I going to get out of this? Why was I sentenced to this safety presenter? What did I do wrong? You have all these attitudes in the room and you want them to follow safety when they leave the room? Trust me not. They will actually sign just to show that they will get the badge and they work inside. They will forget everything you said. Because the rule is this: people don't care what you did, people don't care what you said, people will only care how you made them feel. So stop number 3, create a healthy, motivating environment, pun intended, just to follow my colleague Kai. Anyway, so I continued, make it fun, make it motivating, but there is another problem. These 70 or 60 people attend, I have to speak in 2 languages, sometimes 3 languages, because the contractors from different companies come, and regardless, most of them, they speak Hindi because they come from Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and India. But there are also Bahrainis there, okay? So what do I have to do? I have to speak in English, deliver in English, and one of the foremen of the contractors, Ramesh or Hakim, I don't know, someone will stand up, one of the foremen, and he will translate what I said. Did I tell you the presentation takes 1.5 hours? Multiply this by 2. 2.5 hours sometimes minimum, because I have to speak in English and the foreman speaks in Hindi so that they understand. And if I have to speak in Arabic, this is the biggest disaster. Now see, after some time I said, okay, I'm beginning to learn. The presentation template is the same. Beginning to learn and hear the foreman. After 1 year, we are still midway, by the way, huh? I started speaking Hindi. Yeah. भैया अगर एक्सीडेंट हुआ मालूम कितना नंबर मारेगा और नहीं मालूम नो दिस इज गवर्नमेंट नंबर लेकिन अल्बा नंबर 333 and for those specific Malayalam moon. There you go. I can speak Hindi. And after some time, I said to the foreman, let me try, don't speak, I will speak. And I spoke broken Hindi, all right? Broken Hindi, I know it's not correct grammatically. So I felt shy sometimes. And I said to the guys, wait. If you don't understand me, if you don't want me to speak, okay, I will let the foreman speak. And they would jump out of their chairs. No, please, no, foreman. You. Chalega, tumhara Hindi chalega. Chalega. I wasn't speaking Hindi properly. But in Toastmasters, we learned one thing. Stop number 4. Communication is not anyway about language. It is not about language. It is a human expression. It is how you express yourself. Look at me. I'm a regular Bahraini. And we are very proud in Bahrain, by the way. Among all the GCC Arabs, we know Hindi, right? I mean, the Bahrainis in the room. Hindi malum or nahi? Malum. They know Hindi. We all know Hindi. I mean, sometimes people directly speak to me Hindi because they think I am Pakistani, right? I go to cashiers and the Bahrainis don't speak to me Arabic. They speak to me Hindi or they speak to me English. Hey, hello, hello, I'm Bahraini. Wallah, I'm very proud of Bahrain. We are a cosmopolitan. We are the best community. I am very proud of this country. All of us, we cannot distinguish us. We are one together. Look at our Toastmasters Club. When you go to our Toastmasters Club, you will find all of us there. You cannot say who's Bahraini and who's none. Stop number 4, language. It's not about language. It's about how you express yourself. I reached to the top 10 speakers, the first Arab ever who does this in 2006. And my English, come on, listen to my English. It's so Bahraini. Doesn't matter. In our Toastmaster world, all communities, all nationalities, you can go out with any accent. Please do not stop improving yourself because you think your grammar is broken. Even if it's broken, you ask the Toastmasters in the room. Everyone is welcome because you can express yourself. So anyway, I managed to reduce the time and no Indian translation, only Hindi speaking sometimes. And when I look at the Bahrainis, you know, you Bahrainis, don't let me do this in Arabic, you know Hindi. And they will laugh. They, Ustad, احنا نعرف Hindi. No problem, we know Indian. And when there are some VIPs coming for induction, some experts, some auditors, I speak my English very well because I enjoy also. Oh, speaking about VIP, I had to be really creative, you know. Sometimes it's not only the language and the motivation and that. By time I became more creative. I used to do, because new people come every time and I have to look at their education level, absorbing level, and I discovered that it's not only my tongue language, okay? I use the chair, you know, one of the chairs in the room, I throw the chair on the floor as like a person who is, you know, lying on the floor, on the ground because of an injury. And the chair is that my prop. I just think creatively there. And I come to them and tell them, Yalla, Raju come, Abdullah come, Ahmed, Yalla come. This is, a person got injured in the company. I do a role play and everybody's watching and they are giving their best ideas how to do that. Everybody wants to show that he knows, okay? And why did I do this? Because I know these people are more kinesthetic people, more dynamic people. So the language is not only about the tongue, but what you do. Because I learned this in Toastmasters using props. At that time, it was Project 8, I think. All right? So the old Toastmasters. Stop number 5. Especially for safety people, do not tell, rather teach. Teaching is a very noble word. It encompasses so many things. If you turn into a teacher in the room, the way you speak will be like a teacher, like a master. You will use every means that are possible in your hand to teach people what to do, how to do it. You will not just tell them things and sign their badges and sign, I done the induction. Nobody will guarantee who gets into zakhmi or injury unless you teach people. This is also what we learn in Toastmasters. However, things did not change for me. The more I speak better, the more people enjoy my induction, the more I stay in this dungeon. The dungeon of induction, I want to go out. I want to be a regular safety coordinator who does all the big stuff, okay? But I was the most preferable. Even PR department used to call me. Even HR department used to call me to do some inductions. But no, I want to do everything, every other thing in safety. And it is still stinky. Talking about stinky, one day, one of my colleagues left his room and he came crawling slowly in the corridor, enough to look at me from the open door, because the only thing, ventilation I have is the open door, by the way. I keep the door of the corridor open. He left his room at the end of the corridor. He came to me and he looked at me while I was presenting. I was here. What do you want? Yes, he said, and he looked to me with body language. He said, Muhammad, what is this? What is this smell? He's pointing to me, smell, too much smell coming. Imagine, he left his room because the stinky smell reached to his room and he left. And I'm like, finally, someone is feeling of me. Someone is sympathizing with me. And he looked at me like this. I said, see what I'm doing? See, and he so kindly did a very nice gesture, very kind gesture, because he's my friend. He came close, he extended his hand to the door and shut the door on me so that no one else smells. And I was left there for life imprisonment. The last ventilation opening was closed by my own colleague. Do you know how stinky it was? Speaking is stinky. And the day of the salvation came. I entered Alba, I put my badge, and every day I pray that the induction is cancelled. Every day I pray. I came to the SHE department and my prayers were answered. The room was occupied already for a very important meeting. So I quickly took my helmet and I said, okay, I'm going out in the field. I'm going to the workshop. I'm going to do the real safety thing. I wanted to do that. Suddenly someone pulls me back. Where are you going, Muhammad? I'm going to do safety patrolling. You're going to do safety induction. No, we cannot do safety induction. The room is occupied. No, we have another room for you. We don't have another room. He said to me, look from the window. If anyone was with me in Alba, he remembers this. Adjacent to us was the old medical building, under construction and renovation. No supplies, no services, no AC in summer. He said, Muhammad, you will have to go there, take all of them. You know how many of them were that day? They gathered for me many contractors in one session, 120 contractors. I opened the door into the medical department. They only supplied me with the projector and some electricity. You know, the windows were open and the sun rays were coming inside. I could see the dust raising. You know, when the sun ray daylight comes inside the room and you see the dust raising, that is what I remember very clearly. I cursed myself. I hated myself, but I had to do my job. I stood there and I spoke. Agar zakhmi hua kya karega? Emergency number kitna hai? I felt I needed emergency that day. I delivered everything I used to deliver exactly the same way. And then the door of the medical room opened. Who is coming at this time? It is my manager, Ron McKinnon. He decided to do a tour. Okay, we are used to this, but no. He came inside and he said, he brought another man inside. The other man was none other than Alba CEO, the Australian Bruce Hall. They stood at the door watching what I do. And Ron McKinnon pointed at me, Mohammed, continue, Mohammed, continue. I continued my work exactly like I used to do. And then after 1 to 2 minutes, they left. It was only a week where I received an email from the CEO. I have that email until today. We are so proud in Alba, we have a speaker, an employee who has this skills, something like this. And I learned from my manager that the CEO is inquiring, who on earth is this guy? Do we have someone like him in Alba? Less than a month, there was a huge workshop, safety workshop in Alba Club, done by the manager of the department, because he's a master in safety, etc. He's a big consultant. And he said, Mohammed, I want you to deliver this with me. Only board members will come, general managers, 35 total in Alba Club, a prestigious place. And I will deliver one of the modules my master delivers. Only I was chosen. After that incident, I entered the Alba tent, if you remember Alba tent. The smell of the buffet, oh my God. Look at this smell, my God. And I delivered my module in half an hour. And the managers stood one by one in a queue just to shake the hand of this safety guy. Who on earth is this? Stop number 6. Very painful one. We always tell the employees to behave safely even when no one's watching, right? We hate it when someone does something incomplete or does a shortcut when we are not there. I have this message for you. When no one's watching and you are speaking to people to preserve their lives, to change their lives, to make their lives better, to give them precautions, to give them instructions that each one of them might save their lives in the field, in the workshop, or maybe, and I don't know what is your topic. When no one's watching, are you doing your best? Are you giving your best? Because if you do, if you follow these 6 steps, to say yes to speaking, to withstand speaking even when it is stinky, to motivate people rather than lecture at them, to learn that the language of humans, which is not the tongue language, but the expression, to always be creative, to teach your people, not to tell them, and finally, to stay with integrity, one of our 4 core values in Toastmasters, doing things right, even when no one's watching. I guarantee you, the day will come where you will open the door slowly and you will get the thing that you wanted, because it happened to me. You remember in 2020 August, I became the first accredited speaker from the Middle East. And you remember I put this helmet on my head. I was a safety guy. This safety guy who withstood all this stinkiness because of speaking about safety. The moment I finished my speech and I put my helmet, I raised my trophy, the accredited speaker, which you can see on my chest. Only from safety. Do not underestimate what you're doing for others. And tonight I will give you a gift. I will. And that gift is how I reached to the final level in accredited speaker. You will see my video on YouTube, but there is another video which nobody saw. It is the level 1 video where I was accepted to go into level 2. That workshop is about speaking secrets and safety. It was accepted in level 1, but nobody saw it. This is my gift to you. If you fill the link, which I will send after this speech, just fill the link and I will give you that. You will find the secrets of speaking safety. But I will leave you with this. Whatever you do, if you are a parent, if you're a manager, if you're a supervisor, if you're a safety guy, if you are anyone who will change someone else's life. If you want people to take safety seriously, take speaking seriously. If you do not take speaking seriously, they will not take safety seriously. And I assure you, you will hear this with me. Over to you, Madam MC.
Thank you so much, DTM Mohammed Shukri. Really enjoyed the session. It was amazing to see you talking and sharing with us the secrets of speaking successfully, and wonderful hearing you. Now, I would like the audience to put their questions in the chat box so that we can proceed towards the Q&A session. Moving on towards our Q&A session, the first question is for Toastmaster Saira. Question is, what are the characteristics of good business opportunities?
Characteristics of good business opportunities. Yes, we spoke about plenty of opportunities coming our way. The first thing that comes to mind is a story like the Airbnb story that we are all aware of. Two people who wanted to pay their rent and were not able to, and they just simply hired their bed out to someone. And from that small idea, they managed to today have a huge scalable business. So I would say it is very important to have clarity. Good opportunities are clear and well-defined and straightforward. From a small thing, how they grew. So it has to have clarity. It has to have feasibility. It should be realistic. Is this model workable in the future? So the business achieves their goals by being efficient and profitable. So I think it's quite important to have opportunities that are scalable, feasible, and in the end, of course, profitable. So I would say something like this is how the characteristics of a good opportunity is. And if you look at Airbnb, when they started, it was just an idea that just took place overnight. And then later it went into so much, they are highly into safety. They do their risk assessment, they have their background checks, and it's worldwide. So there's a lot of preparedness as well. So small things, even in terms of secure payments and accounts, to make sure that things are protected. People who are using their services are able to apply safety, which makes it very relevant to our topic today. I'd like to end it at that.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saira. Yes, these are some amazing characteristics for a good business opportunity, and definitely with following your work ethics and your points, definitely it's going to work out, and we will try the best to get from each opportunity that knocks our doors. Moving on, the next question is for Toastmaster Kai. Toastmaster Kai, what could be a simple action plan to save the surrounding environment?
This is a very good question, and actually a simple answer as well. Just try to avoid single-use plastic. If you imagine that you have a bottle or a plastic bag which has a production time of, I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes, you're using it for 5-10 minutes and it will remain for more than a decade or more than a century on the earth. So imagine you just using a plastic bag or anything twice, you're reducing already 50%. So using your bag maybe 10 times, you're reducing 90% already. So, and even better, prepare yourself to have a durable, reusable bag, a stainless steel bottle for the water. So actually it's cheaper in the long run for you as well and much more healthier. So sometimes the question is not what to do, sometimes as well what not to do. Just as a supermarket, don't take the plastic bags. Just take your own bag, which is even less weight than your mobile most likely, or your wallet, which is full of coins and notes, very heavy. So this is a very simple task. When you go shopping, you take your wallet, you take your bag with you, and that's it. So you are already decreasing the amount of single-use plastic. And on the other hand, buy naked fruits, buy in the local shops, in the local market. So unpacked fruits or unpacked fruits and vegetables. It's very simple, and believe me, your waste in your house, in your household will decrease, which means you need to go less to the big waste bin or to the chute in your building. So you're saving time. You can spend more time with your beloved one or with things you like to do. For example, listen to Toastmaster Mohammed Al Shukri.
Yes, definitely. Listening to Toastmaster Mohammed Shukri can definitely help us save from all these hazards. And I'm sure we'll all agree with this. And thank you so much to give your insight. And I really agree with you, Toastmaster Kai, that if you bring a bag from your own home, that could help us from the using those bags, plastic bags, which are there in the market. And this way we could...
one number. In Bahrain, every year, approximately 100 million plastic bags are thrown in the waste, in the environment, in the landfill. So imagine everyone is using the bag only maybe 10 times, which will reduce it from 100 million to 10 million. Very simple activity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kai. Next question is for DTM Mohammed Shukri. How can managers show safety commitment? And there's one more question. Are you going to share video of this meeting?
The video, I promise, the other video, I promise, I delivered it in the ASSP conference in Gulf Hotel. I will send to anyone who fills the form, no issues. This video, it's within my friends in Toastmasters. It's within the district management. And of course, we will love if the word is spread. All of us, we would love this. And this is what communication is all about. And regarding the manager's commitment to safety, I will encourage listening to my level 2 speech, level 2 accredited speaker speech. It's there on YouTube and Toastmasters channel, and I talk about a case study, and I give my signature keynote about a safe shortcut to safety culture. However, we cannot have managers show commitment. Showing is not the deal. The deal is being committed to safety. Once they are committed to safety, they are role models. They lead by example. They do not need to show, because everything they do and say will express itself. And this is the level of culture and leadership we are aiming at. And by the way, this is also taught and learned in the organization we tag where leaders are made, Toastmasters International.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster DTM Mohammed Shukri, and definitely agree with you. Next question is for Toastmaster Kai. What would be a simple action plan to save the surrounding environment?
As I mentioned earlier, we have simple steps in life. Just prepare when you go shopping. When you go out, take a stainless steel bottle with you. I have always my stainless steel bottle with me, and in my car, or if I go by bike, I have always 2 or 3 reusable strong bags with me, which are actually not from plastic. They are made from cotton. So once they are even broken, they can be fixed. So this is a once in a lifetime investment, and they are not heavy, and we can keep always 2 or 3 in the car and 2 or 3 in the home. So we just circulate them. Very, very simple. And on the other hand, a lot of people nowadays, they're using this single-use cutlery. I mean, every household has got cutlery at home, stainless steel, which is the most hygienic one, by the way, because also the hospitals are using this one for the operation and the surgery and these things. So it's much more hygienic and much more healthy than using the single-use plastic forks, which are breaking, and then you have small pieces, you might swallow them, and then this will be out of the gram per week.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Kai. There's one more question from our timer for today, Toastmaster Dinesh. His question is for Toastmaster, for DTM Mohammed Shukri. Did you face a situation where you have to compromise with safety requirement in pressure of management to complete the task due to any emergency at project, which have to rectify or complete?
All right. So here's the thing. When people are not in safety professionalism, it is very difficult to understand what we do in safety. In my last seminar organized by Bahrain Health and Safety Society, one of the biggest misconceptions is that safety people actually also do safety. They do not do safety. They guide, educate, motivate, train, and make sure that everybody knows their role, because safety is everybody's responsibility. So the first part of my answer is this: we actually do not conduct safety things. All right. In some poor culture companies, the safety guy has to actually sign everything, do accident investigation and all that. And therefore he will be always accountable. And this is not correct. This is very poor safety culture. So if you go into safety management, you will learn a lot about leadership. For me, yes, I was under pressure sometimes. When I was overseeing a safety investigation meeting or process where different parties are there, and the poor culture is what? Fault finding. We say in safety, it's not about fault finding, it's about fact finding. This is correct investigation. And yet, some parties are highly sensitive to any clue that might pinpoint to them as partially responsible for the accident, and hence they want to end the investigation quickly or superficially and not dig into the can of worms, as we say in safety. Yes, I was under that pressure and it was not easy. So ethics, integrity are very important in safety, as in any other profession. Over to you.
Yes, agree with you. Ethics is something, integrity is something which is very essential in any part, and considering it in safety too. Let's move on to one more question from DTM Khalid Jalal. Why HSE professionals avoid public speaking, unlike other professionals? This is again the question to DTM Mohammed Shukri.
I feel like I'm an accident. Everybody wants to target me. Anyway, yeah, and I understand, really. If I learned anything, it was in safety. We learn a lot of skills, not only the technicalities of safety, the chemistry, etc. No, there are so many things. There's a lot of politics, by the way. Okay, and we say it, I say it, according to my mentor as well, probably sometimes 90% of safety is politics. Anyway, what was the question? Oh, yes. Why do safety professionals avoid speaking? I'm sorry to say, no, they do not avoid. Everyone avoids, not only safety professionals. Sorry to say this. In every profession, you tell me what is the percentage of the employees who voluntarily step forward to speak? If they can do without speaking, they won't. Why embarrass themselves? Why show all the stuff? Do it through an email, do the reports, do everything else except speaking, because when I speak, people will come to know how weak I am, right? And I'm telling you this, flip the coin, flip the table, you become one of the few who speak and speak well, and everything will be in your favor because everyone else will look mundane. In every profession, your engineer, your IT, your whatever you're doing, all right? Be one of the few who speak and you will stand out because of speaking. It's you are afraid? You don't know how to do it? Habibi, there are so many Toastmasters clubs. Our arms are open. Just reach out, find the club on toastmasters.org. Back to you.
Yes, thank you so much, DTM Mohammed Shukri. I agree with you. Speak up, pour your heart, be a better speaker, and definitely you will rule the hearts by being a good leader in whichever field you are. So thank you so much, all the panelists today, all the keynote speakers. There was something which I learned from all of you. Definitely, there will be a takeaway message home today from Toastmaster Saira. Wherever there is opportunities knocking your doors, connect and make an impact. From Toastmaster Kai, definitely, I have learned some beautiful tips, amazing tips, how to recycle, how to take care about the environment. This is the environment where you are living. So if you don't take care, definitely you are going to pay back, not today, but later. So definitely help people around, make aware about what is the effects if you are not taking care of the environment. And DTM Mohammed Shukri, you had some wonderful secrets to share with us today, and this will be with us for years to come. Thank you so much for having such a wonderful session with all these speakers. Now I would like to invite DTM Khalid Jalal. DTM Khalid Jalal would be speaking with us on another important topic. Yes, over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Faiza, our MC of today, and I'd like to thank all our speakers, esteemed speakers, especially distinguished Toastmaster Mohammed Shukri, Toastmaster Kai, and distinguished Toastmaster Saira Ranj for the lovely knowledge sharing which you have done with us in terms of how the art can work, how it can be used in the business, how we can save the environment, and especially how we can use speaking art in our safety environment, in our daily life, and how to be not into a presentation, but make everything into a presentation and make it so useful to everyone. Thank you very much, our esteemed speakers. Now, let me ask the audience who is still here with us, how many of you are still not a Toastmaster or not aware of Toastmasters? I don't see any hand raised, so that means everyone is a Toastmaster here. Polly is the one. Okay. Thank you, Polly, for admitting that. Now, since you're all Toastmasters here, so I'll not go much in detail about Toastmasters introduction, but Polly, for you, since you're not a Toastmaster, Toastmaster is a platform where we come together and we help each other doing two very interesting things. We learn how to speak, we learn how to communicate, And with that, we learn how to become better leaders. Because we believe to be a better leader, you have to be a good communicator. Everyone is a communicator. Everyone communicates. But how you can improve that level of communication to the next level, that's what we learn and practice, learn and practice, learn and practice together in our Toastmaster clubs. Now, for those who are into HSE or health and safety professionals, if you are connected to any of your friends, pass one of my message to all of them that we are happy to run a speechcraft to all the health and safety professionals at free of cost. We will run it in Bahrain, we will run it in Kuwait, and if there's enough crowd in Iraq and Egypt, because the District 20 is present in the 4 countries, we are happy to conduct free of cost speechcraft for them so they know how to write a speech, how to practice speaking, and with that, they will also learn the art of speaking. We don't want anyone to be left out by not knowing the art of speaking. We want everyone to do a good presentation, and we don't want anyone to be in the presentation. So with that, I would like to thank all of you and pass the control back to our MC, Toastmaster Faisal.
Thank you so much.
This is not the door sound. I'm sure this is not the door sound produced by DTM Mohammed Shukri. It's mobile on vibration. MC.
Yes, thank you so much, DTM Khalid. Thank you, all the attendees for today's event. Indeed, I'm sure it will be proved to be a fruitful session. For more feedbacks and queries, please feel free to reach to us at District 20. We are committed to serve our members. We will be having more such events in future, and follow our YouTube channel where all our recordings are uploaded. Follow our social media, stay updated with the upcoming events. And before we leave, a special thanks to our timer for today, Toastmaster Dinesh Pal, and our moderator for this evening, Toastmaster Vikaruddin. Without them, the session would have not been successful. And thank you, wonderful audience, to be with us, give your precious time. And definitely, we will be reaching you soon. Whenever you are looking forward for some webinar, do reach us, and we are all here. So before we move forward, or before we end this event, let's have a group photograph. I would request all the members to open their cameras. Yes, wonderful audience, kindly open your camera. It's time
no typing comments, because it will appear in the screenshot. Don't type comments for a second.
Yes. Time for a pose.
And anyone taking the photo?
Just to check. There, Murali.
Is the photograph clicked?
By whom?
Still, we are waiting for open switch on some cameras.
Yes.
Let me
District
count by
20 PRM is giving a thumbs up. That means
click.
He has clicked
That means
picture.
click.
But we need everyone to open their cameras.
Some of them not maybe possible to.
Okay.
More are opening. Very good.
Yeah, slowly more opening some.
Yasser, don't type. Yasser, not now.
He broke the rule.
Yeah, safety people don't break the rule. Thank you for coming, Yasser, from the board of Bahrain Health and Safety Society. Thank you very much for attending today. And quite a few, sorry if I jumped in without permission, which we don't do usually in Toastmasters, but quite a few safety professionals attended. Very thankful to see my colleagues there. Thank you for all organizers and my fellow speakers, Kai and Saira.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. With this, would like to take some feedback before we adjourn today's meeting.